So hold down, like when you type in the news thing, right? So then highlight a segment. Hold down so you get a cursor, and then highlight the whole thing, and then tap it again, and at the very far right of that, you'll see link. You see it? Output mode, stream, general. I don't see how to make it 1080p, but I don't think it's mattered before. Appearance. There we go. We got the right live notification too. That's what I'm talking about. Did it work? There it is. Oh, well done. I totally forgot that one. This has been a long week. I don't see where to output in 1080p, but it hasn't really mattered before. Studio mode. I do not want that turned on. That was way too much. Yeah, they got good stuff. Okay, it's 1280 by 720. I can't change it until we cut the stream, but we'll roll with it with what we got. Mm-hmm. That's why they call me the breeze. It says he's on. He's on. On group member, not on call. Add group member. Come on, group member. We needeth you. Today. Done deal. Yeah, I think the extension got moved to today. Done deal, man. No longer a two-time homeowner. Mm-hmm. At last. I'm not cutting 2 yards. That's the big thing. Dragging all that stuff down there and cutting 2 yards every 2 weeks. And the money part of it, too. That's a big deal. Alright, Cesar is indisposed at the moment. He will be here shortly. Talk idly amongst yourselves until then. I think I'm going to keep us on the OBS feed since I know it's streaming and I know we went live everywhere. I'm going to keep it on that so I can tell if you freak out like you do sometimes. Yeah, have you seen it play back on YouTube? It bounces around for I can't figure out why. That's all it does. Oh man, the Evercade starter pack is $69 on Amazon. That thing Cesar was showing us a couple weeks ago. But it's the console and the Atari pack. It doesn't have those two other packs that come with it. That's $40, so might be better off with that $100 SKU still. Because I've been eyeballing that thing. Yep. Yep. Do you have one already? Oh man, it's a good ass machine. Yeah. A couple, I'm sure, which we will discuss. I've got 3 copies of a certain something. I have a bad feeling about that one. Yeah. Oh, you jumped on 2 as well? Yep. Yep. Will it ever be worth less than $60? Right.
That it is going to be limited, but I don't think it's going to be as limited as a lot of people are thinking.
Yeah.
At least I'm hoping.
Now Cesar's tiny. Do you see him on the stream? How does this happen?
Little baby Cesar up there in the corner.
Cesar, come back to us. You're muy pequeño.
Cesar, come back. You can blame OBS.
They were wrong, and they never should have shrunk you. Cesar, come back.
I was in the pool.
Tell them about the
shrinkage.
Tell them about the shrinkage. They know about the shrinkage.
It shrinks?
I don't think we have him yet.
Oh no, I hear you. I'm just not paying attention to your nonsense.
We're serenading you, sir. You're enjoying the serenation.
No, utter nonsense.
Serenadation.
And one of my many pre-orders this week has been the ReZero game. I just could not resist.
Could not resist ReZero?
No, I could not.
Welcome to the club.
A special edition. They went from having it 89 to down to 59, so I'm hoping maybe it drops down a little bit more.
We have 2 viewers. Let's try to get to our 3 viewers. Keep our 3 minimum. Which we need for affiliation.
And I've already signed up for the notifications for that Game & Watch. Oh.
It went up on the UK when the import was $60.
Yeah. It's up for notifications on the US, so
I have one EuroPay compatible card, so I put it on that one just to see. Because did they put an MSRP on that thing for here?
I think it's supposed to be around $50.
I think it is $50.
All right, so I paid a $10 import tax. I haven't ordered anything from Amazon UK in a while. Is it as fast as
I have no clue.
Amazon Japan? Nobody's faster than Amazon Japan.
It does. If you do the basic shipping, it does it through Royal Mail, and then they hand it off to U.S. Mail. So it takes about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Ugh. Nowhere close to Amazon Japan. I try to let a couple of people know we're live. We still only have 2 viewers, so I'm trying to bump that up a minute.
You're welcome.
It's our theme song now.
And there was no one here to witness it.
SSR ignored it.
And yeah,
He ignored the
SSR
performance.
he acted like it didn't happen.
SSR, we finished Umbrella Academy Season 2. Who's muy bien?
Are you waiting for the next one?
I'm mucho excited for more Umbrella Academy. It's so good. I would watch those characters do anything in any timeline. I'm down for any of their hijinks. Some of the Mrs. Coworkers were telling us to check out The Boys. Have you either one of y'all seen The Boys on Netflix?
Ooh, very good,
It's
very
good?
dark.
Yeah, on Amazon.
Is season 2 out or?
Yeah, they split it up to 3 episodes. I think they did 3 this Friday. They're going to do another couple this Friday.
Okay.
They didn't release them all at once.
Y'all said it's dark?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's out there.
It's good though.
It's not as light and haphazard as Umbrella Academy.
No, it is not.
No, yeah, it's like the dark side of superheroes.
Yeah. It's like if superheroes were real. You know just how people that get fame some people get really pretentious and fucking asshole-ish.
It's like me
Well,
off the success of this podcast.
Think about if superheroes were real and then they have that nice side to them where they're like, oh yeah, hey everybody, hello hello citizens, oh you guys are the real heroes, I didn't do anything, and
Right.
then behind the scenes they're banging whores and killing people and doing whatever the fuck they want because they're like, yeah, I'm a fucking superhero, I can do whatever the hell I want, that's basically the whole thing.
And they have somebody running their market strategy and they're getting paid, and depending on which city they protect, and it's a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
like
they're fucking franchised.
The dirty underbelly.
Yeah, they do free agency, so they have like a agent that works out their prices to go protect a certain city and stuff like that.
Like Mixer and Ninja, that kind of stuff. Good times. Y'all ready to get the ball rolling?
Yep.
Yo soy tired again. Let me get Skype recorded. Make sure we got everything going.
I say that's another story. I didn't want to add like 3 things to news.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see where was it Madden that had like the damn ads in it?
I don't think I read that story.
No,
Oh
it was
my God.
UFC.
It was UFC. There we go. I was like, I know it's one of their joints.
Game of the Year material.
Trying to watch their like replay and whatever, and then like the entire screen's taken up with watch The Boys season 2 on Amazon Prime.
Nice. All right, here we go. Let's get some lead in. Where's my record thing? Damn, I don't have it. Where is it? There we go. There goes Brant bouncing around in OBS. I can't have anything. Nothing can go right. Thanks, Brant. Now he's back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 126 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game podcast. We're now a audio-video live ensemble. We assemble every Wednesday night on YouTube and Twitch just for your viewing and listening pleasure. You can also join the chat and chime in. We had a harassing individual with us last week. We had a good time with them, so thank you for your contribution. Fiddling Banjo or something like
Fiddling
that?
Gangsta.
Fiddling Gangsta. Thank you, Fiddling Gangsta. We don't see you on the chat today. Please come back. We need to drive up that Twitch viewership. Tonight, we have the Super Mario 35th anniversary celebration is actually officially outlined. A Shenmue anime has been announced. We'll get the opinions of the anime cast here. Xbox Series S and X date and prices have been outlined at last. Nvidia announced next-gen cards. Nintendo breathes new life into Hyrule Warriors. Well done, Brant. And Kingdom Hearts ? Not on Switch. I'm Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Brant McKee.
What's up?
And of course, Cesar Concepcion II, CMC2, as he's known as. Are you excited that there's an anime story, sir?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I'll watch it. 10 out of 10, we'll watch.
Yeah, they're putting it on Adult Swim and they're putting it everywhere. You can watch. It's easy to watch.
That's a good thing, right? Put your product everywhere where people can see it. What is the end game, though? I guess we'll get there with news, but does that drive up sales for Shenmue 1 and 2 HD collection? Or is it just pure fan service? And this is how they flesh out.
Yu Suzuki, he's executive over it, and he's actually implementing stuff that was cut out the first 2 games in that series. So there's actually some storylines that they didn't explore. They're gonna explore it in the anime. So
yep, we jumped into that. Let's just go ahead and make it the first story. So this will Shenmue was famously 16 chapters, I think.
Yeah.
And the first game was, I think it encompassed the first 2 chapters, maybe. And then, of course, they famously ran out of money developing for the Dreamcast. Cesar, there's more details about it, I guess, than what's in this article. It's a 13-episode anime.
Yeah, they don't go into much details, what I've read online. So, I mean, it's just done by Telecom Animation, who's been doing a lot of production for Crunchyroll on their original series.
Did they make good stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is in good hands. This isn't
nothing
just a
about quality. Yeah, they've done good stuff. I mean, Tower of God is very popular right now, and it's based off a Korean comic. So,
cool.
Outside of that, I mean, that was the only difference. I mean, that they were going to go. Yu Suzuki confirmed he was going to be executive produce on it. This was in conjunction with Adult Swim. It's going to be played on Adult Swim, and then it was going to tell. I don't think it goes into detail about how far they're going to tell the story of the first 2 games. Mm-hmm. But he did say that there was going to be some story threads that weren't explored in the first game that they had to cut for various reasons that they will explore in this anime. So
that's cool. I know he's a creative, and he's been sitting on this franchise for 25 years at this point. Mm-hmm. So he's going to want to flesh out. I mean, he's not going to be able to make 13 more games, 12 more games. So this is another avenue to explore that universe. His creation, his world.
Yeah. Because I think he's just trying to finish the games. I know he's trying to get a 4th one done, so.
There's a little, like a preview, I guess, and the animation looks great on there. I think it looks wonderful. Brent, I think our Shenmue adventures are well documented. Are you a fan of the series?
Honestly, I've never played the series.
Oh.
And I bought the HD collection over here.
Yep.
And I believe... Yeah, it's still in the shrink wrap. I just haven't gotten to it.
We kickstarted the 3rd one many years ago in the middle of a PlayStation conference.
But I'm very familiar with it. I mean, the game has been everywhere. It's been memed. And if there's anything I want from this anime, I want at least a little bit of kind of robotic voice acting. And I want him to look for some sailors. He's got to look for some sailors.
Those are criteria, right? That has to be That has to be accomplished in the anime for it to be a true Shenmue.
And then there has to be at least 30 minutes of him standing in the corner looking at his watch.
Getting kicked out of shops. We can't hear you for some reason. It's like you're underwater.
Yeah.
Kicked out of shops.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah, getting kicked out of shops.
The true experience. Buying hot dogs from a Jamaican street vendor who dances. All right, let's move on to Nintendo's 35th Super Mario Brothers Anniversary Direct.
Hell yeah.
Oft rumored, oft speculated, especially on this podcast. I think last week Cesar was kind of rounding up the rumors, and then we got the show, the next morning after we recorded?
Yes.
Daniel, man. Yeah. What happens if he celebrated 35th anniversary today? That was his first tweet.
It was right after that, and then the floodgates just opened. So I saw the news come pouring in, and then I kind of skipped through the direct, because once you've seen the news, you don't really have to watch every minute detail. But what'd you guys think? Just a
Loved
quick
it.
hot take.
Loved it.
There we go. Cesar,
Yeah,
good
it's
stuff.
good, especially since everything's coming out so soon. But it looks like they had
Yes.
everything done for a while, and it's probably just pushed back. I think
Yeah.
you said they used that example, that Super Mario Maker course thing, which was supposed to be set in April, like 5 months ago.
Yeah,
So
that event
I
was
think they
set
took,
to be like April 4th or something.
yeah, because they were supposed to be more of a whole year thing. So you saw that this whole thing probably got pushed back about 5 months.
The year
So
of Mario.
Mhm.
So of course we're talking about. I think the big thing is Super Mario 3D All Stars, which packages Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, and Super Mario Galaxy all in one package. Super Mario 64 looks unchanged, some sort of emulation. Super Mario Sunshine is in 16 by 9 widescreen support, and it looks like progressive scan built in, maybe some upscaling going on. And Super Mario Galaxy is again the same thing, upscaling. Um, and you can use the split Joy Cons for the two-player Wii compatibility if you want to sucker someone into pointing at the star bits and play player two.
Well, I've actually got some little bit on this game. I've been watching a lot of things of side by sides,
Mm-hmm.
showing the differences
Right.
of the originals and the new ones, and everything looks really really nice in the these new versions, these upscale ports, I guess if you want to call them that. I know. As soon as it was done, I texted you and I said I want to see anybody that's mad. And the longer time went on, people were getting mad, and I can understand. I can understand a little bit of it, but like honestly, what do you want? Because so many people wanted this.
Yeah.
I saw some people mad, like the speedrunning community doesn't know because just from one sound bit out of Mario 64, it seems like they're using a different version than the original, and there might not be the backwards long jump.
Who
So,
sees this? Damn that
I,
speedrunner community.
um, a big thing with Mario Sunshine via Nintendo's Japan site is that it is not technically compatible with the GameCube controller.
Cannot use the USB to GameCube controller adapter.
I mean, you can still plug it in, and I'm sure it plays. But the thing is, you're going to be at a disadvantage if they've mapped anything to like the sticks that click in. The GameCube controller only has 3 triggers.
We will have to try that. I think I'm down to try that like day one and see how that works.
And then, of course, the GameCube controller had the adaptive triggers.
The analog triggers in there.
Yeah, the analog. There we go. Whereas the Switch is just tactile buttons. And then the other thing was Super Mario Galaxy in tabletop and TV mode is like forced Joy-Con motion control use. If you
they do
play
make you
it,
play that way.
yes, if you play it in handheld, the touch controls are now mapped to, or the motion controls are mapped to the touch screen,
Okay.
which is going to be kind of awkward because I remember having to. It's been forever since I played that one, but I remember having to do like a spin jump with the motion controls, and there's different ways of collecting the stars. So if you're trying to like combo some jumps and do a spin jump, you're going to have to take your hand off the switch. You're going to sacrifice either your directional or your jump, because you're going to have to take your hand off the controls to use the touch screen. So that's going to be interesting to see how that works out. But I just wanted to bring that up as things I've heard and seen elsewhere.
Those are good updates. Good updates. This is a limited edition. Me and Cesar had a pretty lengthy discussion about this. This is a limited edition release from September 18th is when it comes out to the end of March, specifically March 31st, the end of their fiscal year. And that is a limited release, not only physically, production of the cartridges, but digitally. You will no longer be able to download this 3-game, $60 glorious package after that day. And Cesar and I could not figure out for the life of us why they would do that. Brant, do you have any thoughts? He's shaking his head.
It's a very Nintendo thing to do. This show was packed with some interesting, very Nintendo style reveals and products, but This one's very puzzling, and a lot of people immediately go, well, hopefully they will do this limited release, both physical and digital, and then eventually, somewhere down the line, maybe they want to release them one by one.
Split
as
the
their
games off into $20 SKUs or something.
Yeah, either that or even $25. Get a little bit of money's worth out of them
Yeah.
for
I
people
think
that didn't early adopt.
I think a lot of people I've seen online, a lot of analysts have been saying that they're going for the Disney Vault. That's what they're going
The
for.
forced scarcity thing.
Yeah, and then they'll release it in some other point in some other generation.
Yeah. Get it while it's hot. Pre-orders up just about everywhere. Cesar, did you jump on more than one copy like we were talking about?
I think I got the $49 one from Walmart.
Yeah. You got in on the price error.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Walmart price error. I got one at Target and one at Best Buy. So hopefully if friends run into issues, I got them covered. If not, I don't see a world where this is worth less than $60. I don't know why they're doing this except for everybody's going to buy them up. But I think the overall, these are 3 great games. I'm excited to have all 3 of these games available. And, we're all about having more games available in more places. That's why the scarcity kind of pisses me off. But I am also excited by the door being opened for, here you have a 64, a GameCube, and a Wii game being emulated, and I'm sure they're going to be done well. So what else does that open the door to, Are we going to get more 64 games? Are we going to get more GameCube games? Are Wii games going to be easier to bring over? So I think that leads to some exciting possibilities as well. And, the hackers are going to break it open, and they're going to have playing on there whatever they want to have.
Yeah.
What else from this new show? There's a deluxe version of the Wii U platformer Super Mario 3D World. This news is summarized nicely for us by Tom Phillips at Eurogamer.net. So Super Mario 3D World, the long-rumored port of the Wii U game, is coming February 12th, 2021, with an expansion called Bowser's Fury. It's gonna have mysterious new gameplay sections. First tease, so I think we'll find out more about that later. Kind of like they did with the Mario and Luigi series, where they added like Bowser's minions and things like that to it.
It was also revealed that this one will have online co-op.
Very cool. Streaming potential, Brant. Could get back to that, maybe.
Yes, hopefully.
Speaking of streaming potential, we've gotten Super Mario Brothers. I guess it's Super Mario All-Stars is released on the Nintendo Switch Online service, which gives you Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers The Lost Level, Super Mario Brothers 2, and Super Mario Brothers 3. The 16-bit iterations of those, all good games. Slightly different from their 8-bit counterparts. And I think one of the biggest surprises was Super Mario Brothers 35. It's kind of a Tetris 99-esque battle royale of Super Mario.
Shit looks good.
This also is a limited time. It arrives on October 1st and will be playable until March 2021. March 31st, 2021. Another weird decision, Tom Phillips notes. And they also detailed an AR version of Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. It's a $100 SKU. Lets you drive real Mario Kart toys around your living room via virtual tracks which duck through and around your furniture. Either a Mario and Luigi or Luigi toy will ship alongside copies on October 16th.
And the box has a digital code inside.
Oh,
for
wonderful.
Anybody wondering. Yeah.
No
cart.
Need the floor space to do some AR Mario Karting. Cesar, is this the next level Mario Kart experience you've been craving?
No, but I'm glad to see that they're doing weird shit like they used to do with the Wii. So they kind of get that generation.
This is the Odama of the Switch so far.
Because we have which one's the cardboard bullshit and
Yep.
I mean the Ring Fit. I mean they've done a lot of weird stuff this Gen 2. They haven't done this since the Wii. So at least they're keeping it weird still, which not a lot of companies do. So
this is the fun Nintendo. They're like, okay, we got a product out there selling gangbusters. We're gonna make our money. Let's open up the wing of development that does all the wacky shit, and let's just let them go crazy on this.
The Wonka division of Nintendo.
Do what?
I said the Wonka division of Nintendo.
That's them. The Imagination developers. Another cool product that was announced is a Game & Watch Super Mario Brothers handheld. It will play Super Mario Brothers. It's not in this news. I read this somewhere. It'll act as an alarm clock, and it will also play Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels. Everybody has experience with the Game & Watch?
Yes. It will also play
Still have
Ball.
mine. So.
Ball. An advanced version of Ball. It's a full color display. Looks really good. It's got a D-pad on it. A and B buttons. Does anybody have a Game & Watch? Or had a Game & Watch?
I still got mine.
I have Donkey Kong and Fire, I think, are the two that I have. Might be fun to break out and...
I got the OG Super Mario Brothers one, the sky blue one.
You have the original Mario Brothers one.
Mm-hmm.
This was, I missed the era of the original Game & Watch. I ended up with the Tiger Electronics. Brant, did you end up with any of those as a youngster?
I think there was 3 of them. I think I got the last iteration, which is the widescreen edition.
Oh, nice. Not like the early 80s pre-Nintendo-esque ones?
I didn't get the crystal screen or the special version. I know there's 3 of them.
Did you get
I got the last iteration.
Is yours a PAL one, or you got it when you were over here?
Well, I got it on the base, so it's an American one.
It would have been an import? Okay. I didn't know how that worked. The Game & Watch looks pretty cool. Y'all need to check that out if you haven't seen it. There is a Super Mario-themed Splatoon event. Animal Crossing New Horizons fans will be able to add Super Mario-themed furniture to their islands, along with various political signs that they can put in their yards.
Gosh.
Which is odd, but hey, this is that time of year. Tom Phillips goes on to note the Lego NES Mario thing that came out. Do you think all this was meant to tie into that same announcement? And
Probably.
Lego kind of just went full speed ahead earlier in the year?
Yeah, I mean, they got to get their stuff out at some point, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't hold them up too much. So I guess they just kind of try to get everything lined up at around that same time.
They've got deadlines. Okay, what is you guys get Super Mario 3D All Stars in what, next week and a half? What's the first title you fire up when you pop it in there?
It's got to be 64.
I think
Start
I'm
from
gonna
the
play
top.
64. Yeah.
And then work your way up. Yeah.
Yeah,
play 64 and see
chronologically.
64 was such a revelation of like 3D, and you had this new control stick, and you were trying to navigate that world and figure that out. I kind of want to feel that same experience. Remember the DS one, how crappy it was, like with the D-pad or that little thumb thing they tried to make you use on the bottom screen? So it's almost like a break-in period. Like, okay, how does this circle pad feel on the Switch to play Mario 64? Because I've been pulling off those jumps for what, 20-something years at this point, 25 years almost. So, speaking of 25 years, we didn't put any of the PlayStation stuff on here. It's exciting to me. Quarter century of PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long time to be the platform leader. They've won every generation they've been in, technically. All right, I think that's all the Mario stuff, right? We catch everything?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, yeah, that's it.
Aside from maybe some clothing and Mario Pumas.
Mm-hmm. Get your copy of that game if you want it.
And the last in the story added by Brant, I think somebody on Twitter said that after that Hyrule Warriors was announced, that Nintendo has nothing left to announce for this year. They said this is it, drink it in.
All the leakers have tapped out.
Mm-hmm. They said anything else would be next year. So they said everybody hoping for Bayonetta 3. Keep hoping.
So now
There's a lot of thirsty people.
Now we have the big September game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your big October game is Pikmin.
Yeah, and the Hyrule Cadence physical with the season pass.
November is Hyrule Warriors, which we're gonna discuss. And then December's just, they don't have to worry about putting something out in December. It's all gonna.
I think the next one will be their February one, which is for now, which is 3D World. So.
Yep. I can get by with that. They'll be fine with coasting for December, January. More than enough games to play and catch up on. I started Galaxy about 6 months ago, like right before we moved. So I'm excited to give Galaxy another spin, another whirl. Sorry. All right, I've been talking a lot. Who wants to do the Xbox stories? We finally the doors are open on Team Xbox's plans. We have dates, we have prices, we have SKUs, we have no launch titles, but we have everything else. Who wants to take
Yeah,
that?
outside of that, I mean, they announced that the Series X was going to launch. They're both consoles will launch on November 10th. The Series X for $499 and the Series S for $299. They said that you can do the one-time payment, or you can do the monthly rate for the X. I think it's $34.99 for 24 months, and then for the Series S is $24.99 for 24 months.
Which is
And they
an
said
awesome program. Awesome program for everybody.
and they said if you're already part of that program, you can go ahead and do your upgrades now. You don't have to wait till November.
Ooh, I know someone in that program. I wonder if he can go ahead and get that ball rolling.
There's a form. He just got to fill it out, and then they will mail him his new Series X console.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They said people who already have it, they can upgrade now. Everybody else has to wait until the new console's released.
He can get one now? He can get one sent to him?
He can do the upgrade process. That
Oh,
way
he can go through the rollout. I got you.
That way he'll get it the day it comes out. He doesn't have to wait to do the pre-orders either.
Right.
Then they announced that they're adding EA Play to Game Pass. So this was their news they were hinting at bolstering Game Pass. Somebody was throwing those rumors around for PC and for Ultimate. I think the only difference is they just announced they're doing a price increase on the PC one. I think it's going to be $5 more a month now.
Yep, that just came out. So if you already have Ultimate locked in, that's even more of a bonus.
And that which can be used across the Series X, Series S, Xbox One, Windows 10 PCs, and grants access to more than 60 Electronic Arts titles. Outside of that, they broke down the specs. The Series S is using the same CPU, just at I think it was a lower clock speed.
Barely. Mm-hmm. It's 3.6 compared to 3.8.
Yeah.
So this is the Lockhart, and it kind of leaked of sorts, and then Xbox just went full in and put the trailer out there and said, "Here it is," that kind of stuff. And that was what, this past Monday, I think.
It was
I wasn't expecting this Lockhart console to be this much of a beast. This is a pretty powerful machine for $299.
Yeah, they were. I mean, this was the rumors for a while. This was going to be a lower. They were using the same parts. It was just lower spec. Because you got to remember, there's nothing in these consoles from the Xbox that are custom made. These are already parts that are available out in the market. So there's no additional cost for these. It's not like Sony where they're doing specially made audio and especially made hard drive, which are still not markedly available, which is going to drop the price for them.
Right.
But these are stuff that's already off the shelf. I mean, there's nothing entirely like brand spanking new out here. So, I mean, they just have everything set at a lower clock speed on the Series S. So you have it, it's still the same processor, just at a 3.6 and 3.4 with SMT enabled. It's only 4 teraflops, which is still huge. It's better than the One X.
What is the RAM, One X again? I got lost in all the teraflop stuff before.
I think it's 3.
Okay.
I believe it's 3 teraflops. I could be wrong. I'll have to look it up later. This is purely some say a 1080p machine, but it's not really. It does upscale port 4K, which is 1440p up to 4K.
120 frames per second. You know, it's going to be a big push for higher frame rates for this gen.
Outside of that, I think the only concern would be you get half the hard drive size, but you can. There's an expandable card storage, so you can add 1 terabyte.
You get the same read-write speed. You're not taking a hit on that. You still get the fast loading. I think they said today Outer Worlds loads in like 2 seconds versus like 35 seconds on the 1S.
Like I think it's like 12 seconds or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I know they said they're doing Gears in 120 frames per second on the S. The suspend mode, they showed some examples for going to Outer Worlds to Skate 3, and it flowed pretty quickly. Outside of that, I mean, they just you get the flurry of Ubisoft moving up their launch dates for a lot of their games. So I think now they said Watch Dogs 3 is going to be coming out November 10th with the console. So is Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and Yakuza is also coming out. They moved it up a week. So it's like
Gears Tactics, the console version.
Which they didn't have a date for, and then they finally gave it a date. So, yeah, outside of that, I mean, that was pretty much it. I mean, they just... and
that $299 is discless as well. It's the digital version. Yep. Why does it say Dolby Vision support for gaming will come first to our next-gen Xbox consoles in 2021? They've had Dolby Vision support. Why is that mentioned? Am I missing something there?
Don't know unless there's a licensing fee on using Dolby, so maybe they don't have a deal to work out until next year.
Oh, for the new one
They're-
yet?
So they may not patch it in there till then.
I got it. So these are some great values. I'm totally loving that Xbox Series S $24.99 a month for 24 months. It gives you all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a value. That is not bad at all. If somebody's ready to jump into this, if they choose this ecosystem and want to go out. Pre-orders open September 22nd, and the launch date is November 10th.
And I think I retweeted that thing where somebody from Europe said that console was mostly for the European market.
The digital one?
Digital, yeah, the digital one, because they said it's Europe has been a PlayStation continent for a long time, and they don't see them dropping $4.99 for an Xbox, so they figured they do $2.99. They said that was the reason why all the Ubisoft games in Europe, all those special editions, those $100 versions, were coming digital only, no physical copies. He says because they're expecting this $2.99 to sell.
That makes sense.
To outsell the $4.99 in Europe.
That makes sense.
Because they're looking at marketing that console as a second console. That's what it looks like they're doing for Europe, because they don't think they can take Europe from PlayStation.
Europe's kind of always gone their own way. They were like Sega HQ for a while.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about the look of the Xbox Series X? Or Series S? What do you think that big speaker-looking thing at the top is outside of a meme-worthy image?
It looks fine to me. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks literally like everything else. So
They're saying this
Yeah.
is their smallest Xbox ever. That's pretty cool that they've got all these features packed into that tiny package.
all right, I found it for you, Richard. That's what I was looking for. They said Outer Worlds was loaded in 12 seconds versus 53 seconds on
Okay.
the 1S.
12 to 53.
Yeah, I didn't think
drastic.
that wasn't huge of a jump. I think the one you're getting confused with is that PS5 game that loads in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I did read that one at the same time. So
Yeah,
all this
that-
next-gen stuff is just bleeding together. This is very
I
cool.
think- Yeah, I think this is great. But I think we just have to see how much of an impact the delay of Halo Infinite has on the console,
Yeah.
as well as the proprietary expandable storage.
Mm-hmm.
Because those 1 terabyte expansions are rumored. I don't remember if I saw correctly that if that got confirmed or not, but those expansions are around $220 for the 1 terabyte expansion. So to pay $300 for an all digital and just take a game like Call of Duty.
Halo.
Halo
Halo currently will not fit. Oh, Call of Duty is another big one. They will not currently fit on that 512.
You're going to have to constantly delete and then reinstall whatever you want to play unless you buy the new expandable storage. Now you can play Xbox One games off a regular external hard drive all day, but if you want to play your new Series X games or Series S games, you're going to have to buy that proprietary thing, which is going to be, like I said, rumored another $220 you're having to drop.
I didn't think about that, Brant. You bring up a good point. With digital, you're going to have, you would think, more space on the drive, and you have less space in that SKU. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And they're not allowing custom external storage like we use this gen, correct? You can't just use like a USB 3 drive and plug it in there and put your installs and all that.
I don't believe so. I remember them
I don't
saying
think
that
so
you
either.
could use. Remember that they said you could use external hard drives for just
Old stuff.
Xbox One
Yep.
games, yeah,
More
or
than
Xbox.
360. Yep. Cesar, did this cement any of your Xbox purchasing in the future?
I was already on board because I have a TV that supports 120 frames. If I didn't have a 120 frame TV, I probably wouldn't. I'll get to it when I get to it.
You wouldn't want to see how it looks. Are you still keen on the Series X, or do you think the S has what you're looking for with the frame rate and all that? Like,
Since the majority of everything I have is on disc, I'll probably do the Series X.
that makes sense.
That would require me to repurchase a lot of my obscure games.
Right.
The main games would probably be on Game Pass, but my obscure games, I will have to repurchase digital copies if able
Yeah.
to.
I see. I mean, my games played is going to be Halo again. It's 2 nights at Halo. So I've seen my, like, the Xbox to me is like a backwards compatible machine for like playing good versions of the original Xbox and 360 titles and Halo. So I'm right there with you as far as that goes. And I don't even really need Game Pass for Halo because I have a hard copy of that and the digital copy that we got with our. We just lost Brant. The digital copy we got with that console that we bought years ago. So. All right, that's a good breakdown on Gamatsu. Sal did a great job of comparing the two consoles. Brant, we lost you, sir. We just have a Skype logo for you. That's what you're represented as.
I think he stepped away. It looks like he paused the camera. If you watched it. He took off the headset for a second.
Okay.
Onward. Guess we'll leave the Nintendo Hyrule Warriors for him. We'll move on to story, which is Kingdom Hearts not on Switch.
Kingdom Hearts is not on Switch. We don't want to talk graphics cards, sir.
We can. Let's just do that and we'll come back to graphics cards. Not a big deal.
Okay.
I just kind of glanced over it and just missed that. Outside of that, I think they were talking about Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory was coming in November. They were excited about putting it on Switch. This is the first one in the, I don't know if I call it a mainline series, but this is the first Kingdom Hearts title to come on a Nintendo console in a while outside of the 3DS, which was, I think, Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance.
They did make a note that Numero said that they tried to look at porting the existing titles on there, but they found it difficult. Which is weird because those are on PS3, but I guess, maybe.
Yeah. Something about that Tegra architecture, maybe, trying to convert that.
Yeah, we couldn't argue against it because if those came out in 360 also, you might have had an easier time because it'd probably be easier to port those 360 ones over because I know that PS3 one was a little bit different of a beast. So maybe it was too much work to, I don't know.
Did they use the PS3 ones to build the PS4 remasters? And
I believe so, but I think a lot of that was built from the ground up, if I'm not mistaken. So they kind of redid a lot of that stuff. Well, I mean, this might just be some smoke in there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do come out with that rumored 4K model that they threw out that story, telling everybody to get stuff 4K ready, that they might be able to squeeze out those PS4 ones on there or the Xbox ones on there. So
I got you.
So, like I said, this might just be the answer he needs to get for now. And if there's different hardware, they might come back and reevaluate it because he did say that at some point he would like. I guess they're looking at considering whatever the next mainline title they're gonna try to develop coherently with the Switch because he was fond of that product. I think that's what he said on the future. So.
Oh, cool.
And that was all from Numero. This is all from Nintendo Life and from Liam Doolin.
To be technologically difficult. Yeah, I'm scratching my head on that one.
I'm thinking it's probably because it was stuck on that PS3 generation and they may have issues. I'm sure they try to look at doing a PS4 one and maybe I'm sure they can probably get it to work, but they didn't want to take those sacrifices they did to get Doom running on there. Because you got to remember that's a different presentation. So.
Doom's always your example.
Doom or Wolfenstein 2 or any of those. I mean, they do God's work getting that stuff running on there, but they're not perfect, but they work. And it's a game, but you got to look at it from outside. This is not Square Enix. This is also a Disney IP. I think we don't realize that Disney holds a lot more control over Kingdom Hearts than we actually think they do.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they prefer that their product to come out there as looking as smooth as possible. So.
Yep. They may not say this is worthy of representation. Yep.
Right. Because remember, these are their characters they're licensing. So.
Yeah.
They probably. I'm sure they developed something. They looked at it and went, this is not going to cut it for us. We don't like this quality. So that might be part of it. That might not be the only reason. So, it might cost a lot of money for them to go in there and just try to get it to work. So I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we get new hardware. They'll look at it and they'll port it over. This is probably just a patience thing.
Speaking of new hardware.
Yeah, so this one is from The Verge from Tom Warren. NVIDIA just did some graphics card announcements not too long ago, and as well showed us 72 different versions of a spatula in the kitchen.
Why did he have so many spatulas in that bowl?
It's really weird, and I'm glad somebody noticed it and pointed it out.
So
it looked like a bouquet of spatulas, like it was supposed to be flowers, but they did it in spatulas.
That's so bizarre.
Outside of that, they announced the RTX 380. I'm skipping around. NVIDIA's unveiling today its new GeForce RTX 3000 series graphics cards. NVIDIA has been teasing these cards for weeks, and there's been plenty of leaks between the RTX 380, which was made official that day based on the NVIDIA Aperture architecture. The RTX 3080 is designed to succeed the 2080 and 2080 Ti cards and improves performance and ray tracing support. NVIDIA is promising big performance with the RTX 380. Up to 2 times that is the RTX 2080, and then
Crazy.
faster than even NVIDIA's RTX 2080 Ti. The card will ship out with 10 gigabytes of GDDR6X, which I think is new. I know we had GDDR6 for a while.
I've never heard of 6X either.
Which will be priced at $699 when it ships on September 17th, which is very soon. NVIDIA is using 8,704 CUDA cores on the RTX 3080, and it's combined with a 1.71 gigahertz boost clock. The sucker's fucking huge.
It is massive.
I can keep going here into the details. I know it's 3 cards they announced.
No, we'll just get lost in the weeds.
And I was hoping they'll break it down a little bit better, but they don't really have a graph. He just goes in here in detail about it.
There's the 3080 is the flagship. There's a cheaper 3070 that's $499. And it's affordable. That $499 is coming in at, people can actually upgrade this go around. They've made a major breakthrough.
I think that's what a lot of people were saying. They were going to that one. They were like, that's good enough for me.
And then he ended it with a shout out to myself and you, Cesar, as he pulled the new 3090 out of the oven. Because the two of us have cooked our own NVIDIA graphics card in the oven. But that thing was huge too, and includes 24 gigs of that GDDR6X memory. That looked to me like it has to be one of those external style GPUs. Like, you cannot put that in any sort of case. You need like a brand new custom case to plop that thing down into. And what is it going to run? It's 8K. What is it? 8K, 120 frames per second. What is out there that does that? That Quake 2 RTX thing, maybe? Like, what are you playing? What can you do with that? What can you not do with that, I guess? You just know that every game you get, just put it on Ultra and you're ready to go.
I mean, the theoretical performance on those things are crazy. It's like almost 30 teraflops.
Yeah.
So I was like,
did they price that 3090 that came out of the oven?
I think it's $899. I think that was the most expensive one.
That's still not bad if you wanted to go all in.
My cousin, her husband, that's what he's going with. He was telling me, I talked to him on the phone the other day. He's like, I think I'm going all in, man.
No, sir, it's $14.99, and it is massive. I don't know what you do with that.
Yeah, I'm trying to find an actual sheet that goes over, but all these sites are garbage.
Yeah.
I can't find. It's all over the place. It's nothing that breaks down the 3 that came out.
The 3090 is still the Ampere GPU architecture. 8K HDR shadow play support. This comes from The Verge too. HDMI 2.1 and a whole lot more. I'm looking for your teraflops since that's how we measure everything now. The RTX 3090 will be up to 50% faster than the Titan RTX and will require a 750 watt power supply. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was just looking at the graphs. They said the 3090 8K performance, it would run Forza Horizon 4 at 78 frames per second, Rocket League at 108 frames per second, Control at 57 frames per second. They can't hit 60 on that.
On which card?
On the 3090 and the 8K with a high graphics setting.
Oh, at 8K. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that one has 32 gigabytes of Oh no, that was just the system they're using. Never mind.
Holy
yeah.
Shit.
And I think AMD did their announcement that they got something announcing coming soon, so they're gonna do their
hot on the heels.
Yeah, their latest soon. So
this is Tom Warren again. I think he sums it up best. Given the big promises of 8K gaming, this could be the card we've been waiting for to really push 4K gaming into higher frame rates and more reliable performance. I think the thing I'm most excited for with these next consoles is better performance. Brent, do you want to finish us out on news with your Hyrule Warrior story that you insisted on having in this? Just because you didn't have an Animal Crossing story.
I will gladly take this. So this article comes from The Verge. It's Andrew Webster. Yesterday, Nintendo gave us... they just dropped it out of nowhere.
Shadow drop, baby.
Came out and said, you know what? We showed you guys that we're working on Breath of the Wild 2. We're going to need a little bit more time on that before we can show you any updates or anything. But until then, here's this new thing you guys are probably going to like. And they showed um, that they're working again with Koei Tecmo, who made the Hyrule Warriors in 2014. And this time they're going to be doing a prequel game to Breath of the Wild called Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. So this is going to be the same. I know.
I love Breath
This
of the
game-
Wild, so this 100 years lore, like where their guardians go crazy and they lose the battle and all that stuff, I can't wait to. I'm diving into this one.
Yeah, somebody, some super sleuth took a picture of the screenshot where it says the goal was to survive, and it's like, well, we know how that turned out.
Yeah, this is like the fall of Reach. This is the fall of Reach for Zelda.
That was the one thing they zoned in there. Like the mission statement was survive. We know how this is going to turn out.
Not well.
But they did say that they worked very closely with all the Zelda teams on producing artwork, direction, story, to get everything, make sure everything was right as far as Breath of the Wild, the style. The game looks beautiful. What they showed, it's still gonna retain the same Dynasty Warriors play style that we're used to, where it's like 1 versus 1,000 is what they said during the trailer, where you're just one single character fighting hordes and hordes of enemies. They did say, I think later, that it does have co-op, and so far they showed the 4 main guardians.
Oh, the playable guardians look great.
Zelda and Link.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Bosa, Daruk, Mifa, and Rivali.
The bird guy.
There we go.
Rivali's Gale is now ready. That's the only reason I know his name. I spammed the hell out of that.
This will take place 100 years before Breath of the Wild, and gives us a glimpse into what happened during the Great Calamity, which is described in Breath of the Wild, but we're never really shown a lot of the stuff. It's alluded to. You're kind of given some brief little hints and shown little things and talked about how absolutely horrible it was.
You had to
but
find
this
those
time,
flashbacks that were littered throughout the game to get that story.
I keep thinking of Cesar's, we know how that ends.
Survive.
But this game will actually be able to experience what happened. So I'm pretty excited. Yeah. It seems like both of you guys are really excited. This is a no-brainer for me, pick up, because it actually, they, like I said, announced it yesterday, and at the end of the trailer, it's going to launch November 20th of this year. So,
and I was telling that to Richard because I was laughing because somebody had teased that the day before, and I didn't catch it until they announced that game.
Same.
Because he randomly just said like, what was it? Hyrule Warriors was a good game. That's what he just said randomly. He just randomly said that, and everybody just started like, yeah, it was a great game. And then they made the announcement the next day. They're like, oh, I see what you did here.
I saw the same tweet and thought nothing of it. I was like, okay, that's random, but that's a pretty common opinion. Like, where is this going? And lo and behold, we got a new Hyrule Warriors. I didn't see that coming. The good news is we don't have to play the first one. This is just filling in the lore of Breath of the Wild, and technically you don't have to have played Breath of the Wild, but you'll appreciate the characters more, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Is it just co-op, or did they say any more than 2 players?
I haven't heard anything besides they've confirmed at least co-op. Yeah. So I think it would be nice if you could do like an online 3-4 players at least. You know, you got all these characters. I would assume that they'll do more.
I've been craving some Dynasty Warriors, so this will scratch that itch. / special.
I love jumping into Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Gundam Samurai or Gundam Dynasty Warriors. It doesn't matter. All those games, you don't have to think too much. The gameplay style is about the same across the board with all of them, but they're all just amazingly fun games.
Some of my best memories playing PS2, we would rent, or did my friend have it? He lived across the street from a Blockbuster, so there's like it's a toss up between what did we rent and what did he actually own. But we would get Dynasty Wars, we'd just play it all night. It would just be clearing boards and fighting generals, and it was just mindless. Let's just hang out and drink soda and eat chips and play Dynasty Warriors. So you have that
General
Zelda
Scales.
lore into it. I'm looking forward to that one. What was that, Brant?
Huh? That was Cesar.
Oh, what's that source?
General Scales.
General Scales. You pay this much?
Mm-hmm.
Would
That's all I
you
heard when you said general.
would you play a Star Fox Warriors? With the staff?
Sure.
It's already there, man. It's already there.
As long as the damn dinosaur Tricky was with me.
He's following you. He's a playable
Yeah.
character.
Let's go this way.
You have to feed him mushrooms or he won't blow fire for you at stuff.
Where are we going?
That's our favorite playthrough. Hey, that's
I
going to
fell
be the
asleep on
second
that bitch.
GameCube game we get.
I fell asleep on that bitch, and y'all handed me the controller when I woke up. I don't even know where we were at. I just ran around in circles. They're like, "It's your turn."
Brant, this is a couple years pre-podcast and before we started like kicking around streaming and all that, because that's when we realized, like, I think people will watch this. I think people tune into us, our commentary and the crazy shit that happens to us as we're playing games. So we picked Star Fox Adventures to play through, and it's myself,
Jesus.
Cesar, and Russell, and we just meet up for these, like, what were they, like Saturday sessions?
Mm-hmm.
And we would just play and pass the controller, like when you got past an event or died or whatever. You know, we play it by ear and just pass the controller. So I'm fucking asleep. But it got to the point, like a couple times, Russell and I would pass it back and forth like it's cool. And then it got to a point where it's like, no, I fucking played my part. I don't want to play any more of this game right now. He played his part. He doesn't want to play any more of that shit. Cesar, wake your ass up. You're going to play. We've done our parts. You're going to get in here.
Yeah, I didn't even know where the hell I was going. I just ran around in circles on that fucking pyramid. I still remember it to this day. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Pyramid
I
was
was
a
asleep the whole
nightmare.
time.
I don't think we ever have to go back to it. I will watch like a highlight reel of Star Fox Adventures or something. I don't know if I'll
Did
ever
we
have
even
to
beat
play
the
through that
game?
again.
Can't remember if we beat the
Yes,
game.
we
I just
fucking
remember-
beat Star Fox Adventures.
I just remember all the agony playing it.
That's it. All right, we got to stream it now. You don't think you beat it just like Halo? You
Oh, God.
never
That
beat
and
the first
that.
Halo.
I know I didn't never beat the first Halo. I was there. I remember, that's like one of my vivid gaming memories of all time is I never beat Halo 1. So.
Never beat the first Halo. All right, that's our perfect segue into games played, and mine, of course, is Halo Master Chief Collection. Nothing new to update. I did play some more of the campaign with friend of the show, Dale. We played the Assault on the Control Room mission. I might have said that last week. I can't. All the weeks are blending together. I worked like 65 hours last week, so I'm tired. Halo continues to be great. I don't think I'm looking at these two new Xboxes, and I'm thinking what I use my Xbox for, and if that use case fits me or a current television that I have, and it doesn't as of yet. So I think I'll keep drumming along with my One X and Master Chief Collection until there's a dying need maybe for an upgrade. It's just not there yet, but
I think your assessment is wise. I think, like I said, the only reason I'm doing it is because I have a TV capable of doing
right.
60 frames or higher. So if I didn't have that, I'd be like, yeah. Like you said, it'd be no point.
I'm not there, and I'm gonna get killed in Halo, whether it's a 500,000 frames or 60 frames. So I'll keep trucking with what I got and having a good time. And everybody I'm playing with has a baseline Xbox, and they are not having issues playing this game. So we as a group are truly buying into that, games as a service and just playing it wherever we have it. So
I mean, even then, when you play online, it's not going to be like any different. So everybody's gonna. I may get the best looking version, but you're gonna play the same one as me. It ain't like I'm getting an advantage over you unless I had a keyboard and mouse.
Right.
So
that's true.
So it's like I said, it's on the beholder of the mind. So.
But as these things come out, they may, let's say they sit on these $299 SKUs, and I have a regular Xbox sitting around, and they'll give me $150 for it or $200 or something crazy, because they're turning them back out into Fortnite machines or whatever they're doing with trade-ins these days. That might lend towards, okay, I now have a better experience playing Infinite when it comes out because I'm a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, and I'll plug my hard drive into it. I'll have access to all my old games, and maybe that provides the upgrade path for me. But right now, it's just not there, and there's nothing exciting coming out for it that is really that I want to beat a drum for. But that's back to that Xbox conversation. But that is my only games played this week, Master Chief Collection. Brant, what have you played? We're dying to hear.
I've actually got quite a few.
Here we
I've
go.
been busting it out this week.
I know you beat a certain game this week.
Nice.
Oh, you saw.
He's done.
Creeping me.
I creep everything on PlayStation. Everything else on.
He's watching.
I only creep on Xbox to give my coworkers a hard time. You should be working. Stop playing Halo. I see your ass. He's like, bitch, shut up. That's what usually they'll text me back.
So I guess I'll go over the 2 games I rolled credits on.
Sweet.
First game, which Cesar is alluding to, is Ghost of Tsushima. I finally beat that game. I will go back and get some of the collectibles and some of the other things I didn't get to, but I finally just got to the point where I'm like, none of this shit's going anywhere. I want to finish the story.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally just like sat down and started going through it, and immediately just one after the other, getting what I had to get done. And gosh, what Cesar was saying, the ending is really, really good.
It's moving. It's moving. I was like, it was good.
And there's a part where you go back to your house, your family's land, and you're looking. All right, Richard's putting his headphones down so we can talk about this.
Keep talking to me. I'm here for
so
you, Brant.
You go to your father's grave, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm standing there. I'm like, you know what? This is like an arena. I've done too many of these damn duels. I know this is a fucking arena. I'm like, and then I never fought there. And then you get to the end, and that's the final spot, which kind of lends even more like presence to the ending. Like it makes it puts a whole nother level on top of the ending with everything else going on, and that ending is damn good.
Yeah, and it's like you said. I think whenever they show previews of that game, that was a significant spot. So whenever they showed the gameplays from that videos from the previous years, that ending was so. Mm-hmm. And we got bits and pieces from flashbacks, but you got the full effect when you went through it. So.
And at some point, I'm probably going to go back, not only to get the collectibles. At some point, I'm going to do another playthrough in like Kurosaki mode just to do it, since the game is like a love letter to it.
I think you're fairly safe, and that's what I feel about a lot of these games now, where I'm just okay about not doing everything with them now. That if you're going to eventually get a PS5, I think you're going to get an upgrade, and you'll probably want to go through it then and be like, okay. You'll probably see it differently with a different coat of paint. You might start over again,
Yeah.
That way,
not only that.
I did everything in that game. I don't think I'll go back even with an upgrade. I'm done. So,
Well, if nothing else, I will definitely go back when they do the free update with the multiplayer just to try it out, just to see what's going on with that. And plus, doesn't that drop like October, November? The DLC for that game?
I don't remember for the life of me because I don't do multiplayer. So as soon as I saw multiplayer, I kind of like tunnel vision and just bounce that out of my tunnel because I'm like I just don't have time to do multiplayer. It's just the reality of my situation. I got so many fucking bullshit games I go through.
Well, and that's what I was thinking is like if the multiplayer is coming out, kind of October, November-ish. Then it should be right around that PS5 timeline. And this will probably be one of those games that you can move over. So I think it would be another reason to jump into it, especially if you do pick up a PS5. And then the other game, you called it, sir. I fucked around and beat Hollow Knight.
Holy shit!
I told you, man, you can fuck around and beat that game the way you're talking about every week.
There's a couple little things I didn't go, like little optional bosses and DLC shit that I didn't get to.
Didn't beat it.
But
Hollow Victory, am I right?
I mean, Brant, you're not 13 years old anymore, man. You don't have time to sit there and do everything in a video game like you used to. Yeah.
Dude, my kid's going through it still, and he's like, "Hey, did you see this? Did you go fight that guy?" I'm like, "No, I just didn't have the time, dude." I was like, "You can talk. You can tell me about it. That's what I want to know."
Just put your hand on his shoulder. It's like, son, enjoy your youth.
Yeah.
These are the times of your lives.
Never
you can
have
play
it
video
again.
games on.
You'll
Like,
never
I
be
live
able to sink these
vicariously.
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll live vicariously through you. Tell me about what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. And yeah, but I did go and beat the final boss, which is the Hollow Knight, and pretty good fight, pretty good little ending. I know the sequel to that game was announced last year, and we still really haven't heard anything about that.
I think it's like every fucking indie show they do for Nintendo, somebody's always bitching about they need to show that game. That's like the one constant I see.
Yeah,
That's the Silk something. I can't remember. Silk Song, yeah.
Yeah, and once that game drops, I'll buy that one. I enjoyed Hollow Knight. I enjoyed Metroidvanias. This was a good ass game.
Awesome.
It's a very good game. Katie was asking me about Fallout Guys. She's like, "So, do you have Fallout Guys?" She's like, "Is it for the Switch? How much is it?" You know, and I'm like, "No, right now I think it's only on
Fallout Guys.
PS4 and PC, which is kind of weird."
It's like the number one. It's still the number one selling PC game, I believe, isn't it?
Me
I
calling
think
it
came out with
Fallout Guys has started a trend instead of Fall Guys. I made it Fallout Guys.
Fallout Guys, and but we did some family couch co-op. Just running through, passing the controller back and forth once we died, and just seeing how far we could get. None of them could get past the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was one time I got to round like 3, and that was as best as I could do.
I still haven't played it yet. Is it a lot of fun?
Oh my gosh, it's a lot. It is fun. It is fun. There is some bullshit.
It's fun. It's fun. Like Brent said, it's fun when you play with a lot of people.
It's
fun by yourself, but it's fun when you play with your friends. You enjoy the fucking bullshit where you're flying off, or somebody fucking throws you to your death. You're hanging on the ledge and they don't help you out, and you know.
It's a damn group game for sure.
Gotcha.
And most of that giggling about you're just giggling about how people died, and then you're dying. You're just sitting there laughing, but like I can't flew off that way. You're just dying laughing.
It sounds like our kind of game.
Yeah,
it is. I saw like groups of people playing and I think it was still early, and they figured out in the build of the game that they were playing where there's these platforms you stand on, and you know, Wipeout style. There's a thing that comes around the circular platform.
This is Wipeout the game.
And,
oh god, that would be my shit then.
In the build of the game they were playing, if you grabbed a character next to you before that thing came around, when it hit, you would stay there. It would just kind of go through you, and the person that you grabbed would like go flying off the damn platform. So that shit was pretty funny. I tried it during my gameplay and it never worked. I was like, damn, they don't have that in there anymore.
You gotta be a sleuth, because I think when I played like Left 4 Dead with my brother, he was the one that found all those tricks where like if you sit there and you climb up this pipe and you like melee against the wall, and it shows me floating across the screen into a window. So that way when they called the horde could never get me. So we just ended pulling down and shooting at down there. And he's like, he knew all those glitches. So you just see people looking up and just somebody just meleeing and just flying across the screen. And you have to keep hitting the button because you'll fall down if you don't. It's like a glitch.
The crab wall.
Oh my gosh.
And then they'll put you right in the window, and somebody has to stay down there to sacrifice themselves because they have to alert the horde. And and it's always funny because you see them trying to run up to do the same trick, and they never make it. They get taken down before they get it. It's like,
but yes,
God bless games.
Fall Guys with the family was a good time. The other game I played was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2,
awesome.
the new remake. Cesar, did you get an email from Amazon?
I did.
What did it say?
It was gonna get to me at some point in my life.
So did mine. Mine gave me a specific. The game came out last Friday, which was the 4th of September. Yeah. They were saying either the 3rd of October or November the 2nd. Then when I looked at it later, it said November 2nd. I'm like, I can go down to the store right now and buy it for no cheaper than the price I'm paying here. So
Walmart had it for like $33.88.
Yeah. And so I went to the store and bought a copy of that, as well as pre-ordered the 3D All-Stars, and then canceled my Amazon order since they were just gonna say yeah, whenever.
Right.
Mine actually came in, but it came from Seattle. I think it came from Amazon HQ. I think that's what
Really?
took so
Oh,
long.
wow.
Yeah. Because I looked at it and I was like, mine didn't even give me a date. They're like, you'll get it when you get it, and I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I got an email like I think Saturday, like, hey, we shipped your shit. You'll get it on Wednesday, and it came Tuesday. So mine
Wow.
was only a couple days late, but I remember looking at the tracking. It came from Seattle. Normally, anything I get from Amazon usually comes from Tennessee or Jacksonville, sometimes Kentucky, but I've never gotten anything from Seattle. I guess they found it somewhere and they shipped it for me from Seattle. So
Jeez. Yeah. With me, they were just like, nope, you'll get it maybe the end of the year.
Yeah. What do you think of it, Brant?
Oh, it's great. My impressions of it, it is a beautiful recreation of the first two games. There's some music missing, but to me, I mean, they really tried their best to get all that music in, and sometimes the corporate suits, they just can't come to an agreement, or for some reason some people want to be stubborn and don't want to have their music on certain things, but that's neither here or there. They Vicarious Vision put their kind of flair into the game where when you bail, you don't fall as hard, and your character, there's like a rewind sound, and your character kind of gets like digitized and is just standing back up.
it's like a VHS rewind. Yeah, when you fall down, you get back up.
Which is a neat little flair. But I mean, I kind of prefer the old style where you hit the ground as hard as you can. You see the little pixelated blood and whatnot on the old ones. But I honestly, the game as a whole is great. It's
fucking Tony Hawk from the PlayStation.
It is.
1. Yeah.
I saw a lot of people saying this is like Activision's best game this generation. That's what people are calling it.
That's the thing is this game has been out for not even a full week now. It's already sold way better than Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, which has been out several years.
And was trash.
That game sucked.
So this is what happens when you handle an IP properly, people. You might fuck around and make some money.
So
and create
please,
new fans.
Yeah. Please.
Just like Hollow Knight, you might fuck around and beat that game. They might fuck around and release a good skateboarding game.
Yeah, you never know, man. I mean, I'm sure they're in that boardroom like, are we doing this? Are we doing this, everyone? Are we going to release this game? This might actually be good.
Let's not fuck around.
I'm waiting for that one guy's like, no, let's add microtransactions. Oh, let's fuck it up. Yeah.
No, I'm really, really hoping that this game does really well, because it deserves to do really well. And
I think it will. It reviewed well, and I think it's like you said, it's selling well. So
the word of mouth is spreading too.
I'm really hoping that this will push them to maybe do more. 3 and 4 were great games in the series. They kind of changed and kind of hit their stride in 3 and 4. So I think those games would be great to see how they've been, to get a new coat of paint, to be reimagined, to be revamped. I played this with my son. We just kind of we did Trick Attack, we did Free Skate, we did Graffiti, played some Tag, which was the game he enjoyed the most, was just some Tag You're It.
I mean, the only thing that game, and I don't mean to interrupt this, missing is that skate game from Rockstar where the police officer chases you or the dog chases you. That's the only thing we're missing.
Thrasher with the taser.
The first person view of the cop trying to tase you. Or wasn't there a dog chasing you too? There was one. I think there was a dog chasing you in that game as well.
We have to have to rewatch that naked Jake. Oh shit.
And then I actually went through the kind of like the career mode, which is in this game the same as it was in the originals. You just enter a level, and it's arcadey as hell, where they give you your goals that you need to do. They have the same ones that were in the originals, as well as a couple new things here and there.
Like you said, it's like jump the gap, collect skate, get the fire hydrants, find the hidden tape. do a 50-50 grind,
And so I worked my way through Mall. So I did the first 3 levels, and I was looking at some other stuff the other day, and I might have to go back and like kind of redo them because to unlock some of the unique skaters or secret characters, there's like all this stuff you have to do with create a character, and you have to beat like every level, and you have to get all these high scores with your created skater and all this stuff. And that once you co- meet all the criteria, then you can finally unlock Officer Dick, who is in this game again. And this game, because Officer Dick was in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. But this time they've modeled him, and they had Jack Black come in, do the character, do the voice. So it's goofy.
I'm down for this.
He's got a video on YouTube of him going into the studio, hanging out with Tony Hawk, and having to step into the giant machine and get his picture taken from all directions and stuff. So it's pretty cool, and I've seen the character. It's a neat little thing. But there's apparently a lot of work to get to that point to unlock some of these secret characters. So it'll be a lot of time more playing that game. But that's one of those you just kind of pick it up, play as you want, and then you can put it back down and always come back to it a little later.
That perfect mix of like arcade and a little bit of sim and just enough to keep you going.
Mm-hmm.
Digital Foundry is the one that I was saying where it was John Linneman that did the review. But he was saying it's like the best remasters, the best product Activision's put out this generation. He did like it's a DF retro. He did like 45 minutes of the development of the first two, all the various ports, and then compared this one like with the frame rates and HDR and just that Digital Foundry spin. So I highly recommend a small plug there for old Dark 1X over there. Go check it out, DF Retro.
And my last game, I'm gonna blame slightly on you, Richard.
Oh hell no! I deny everything.
You mentioned it at least 2 times last episode. I started the Ratchet and Clank trilogy.
Yes, he's on board.
Gosh, and that my goal is, we've got a couple months. I want to try and run through
all the
3 Ratchet and Clank games. And then we get, shit. I've got that one on PS4 as well.
Yep.
And then we'll get a new one.
Are you playing do you have a physical copy for PS3 or did you download the digital?
I have a physical copy on Vita.
On Vita?
Surprise, surprise.
Playing the Vita version.
The Vita version is honestly not that bad.
Okay.
I know the Vita version of the Jack collection is kind of janky. I even tried to play it. It's more than just a little janky. Yeah. Ratchet and Clank though, it's smooth. I think it runs at about 30 FPS.
It's like that famous article. It'll never get 60 frames per second on Ratchet.
But
who was it wrote that? Somebody at Eurogamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said that they finally did it, and they finally got it. Was it like 12 years later? I think that was like they were talking about putting that game for the PS3 for the first time. Because didn't it run like at a higher frame rate on the PS2? I think that's what that whole thing started, and they dropped the frame rate for PS3.
PS2 was 60 frames per second. They were smooth as butter.
And I think that's why they were talking about, because I think they dropped it to 30 for PS3.
Yeah.
There was a lot of criticism on that.
And I know the Jack collection was 60 on PS3, but it was 30 if you ran it in 3D, because all 3 of those supported 3D. The Sly collection too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm sorry, Brant.
Yeah. Apologies.
It's my fault.
You're good.
That shit's gonna happen. That's the reason I had a copy of Wave Race show up for the Game Boy the other day, because it fucking says on his Wave Race kick.
Oh, because I had to play my anime nudity girl game to play my Wave Race.
And we looked at it and looked good, and I started researching Wave Race. I was like, I have all of them. Wait, there was a Game Boy one?
I have them all but that one.
Yep. Now I do. It was $4.50, so it's not expensive if anybody out there needs a copy. We could technically do a live stream and stream all 3 Wave Race games and be good to go.
I'll be down for when you do Jet Moto. I used to play the shit at some Jet Moto back in the day.
Let's do it.
Let's just have a 24-hour stream of jet ski games. We'll do like Extra Life or something and do 24 hours of jet ski games.
Oh Lord.
Let's see. Oh, so I haven't really experienced outside of like there was one area. Oh, when you're doing the hoverboard race, and sometimes if I ran into those exploding boxes, sometimes hitting those exploding boxes slightly slowed the frames for a second, but honestly, it wasn't bad. Other than that, there's a couple little glitches here and there where if you're using the suck cannon or if you go underwater, the little bar that comes up on the screen from the right side, as soon as you put that weapon away or get out of water, it will go back off the side of the screen, but you can still see about that much of it, and it's still like just kind of right there off the side. And as soon as you enter a new area, or if you die, as soon as it goes back to normal. So it's not a big deal, not a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, you have to put the game and restart it, which would be annoying.
Yeah. Which I experienced game breaking stuff and problems like that with that Jack collection I was talking about. But no, I mean I'm having fun just going back through this.
Did you play those originally? Like, did you play them on PS2, or is this your first playthrough of them?
I believe I've played 1 and 2. I don't think I ever actually played the third one. I know I got the one for the PS4 when it was one of our Plus games.
Yep.
I got it for free, and I've never touched it.
That one's good, and that one's a good HDR showcase. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that one. But just going back through this one, it's it's so much fun. I love these games, and just games like this. And I think today I made it to what was it, Jawai Resort. I've got the Magna boots and stuff like that, so I've got to go back to that level and use the boots to walk upside down and on the side, and so and I love all the crazy weapons and stuff that were in this game. It's so
power-ups and taking them back to other planets, like Metroidvania style, to unlock stuff.
So I'm gonna look forward to playing through this, and hopefully, because this game I don't remember being super long. So hopefully, if I keep going at the rate I'm at, hopefully by this weekend I can finish this one up.
Like one a week.
And start on the second one. Yeah. Well, I don't know about one a week. We'll try.
I remember selling. I don't think I sold the second one. I remember when the third one came out, I sold Up Your Arsenal, and the racing game after that, Deadlocked. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the multiplayer game, the like death battle match one.
Yep.
They came out with an update for it on PS3, but it was digital only.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. If you bought the first 3, you got that one or something, right? Like that, right?
Because I think I ended up playing all of them on PS3. I went through that whole, when they came out with the Future game, I went through and played the first 3, and I played the 3 that came out on the PS3. I have them all played. I played them all already. Mm-hmm. So I think the only one I haven't played is the new one. So I actually I platinum. I think one of the ones on PS3. I actually went and did everything in that game. The one that Miyamoto said he didn't copy.
You haven't played the. You're saying the one you haven't played is the PS5 one or the newest PS4 one?
No, I beat the PS4 one. Okay. I haven't played the PS5 one. The only one that I actually platinum was the one I platinum was I think the one that Miyamoto said he didn't know about. Oh. I didn't copy the game. I didn't know it existed when I made Mario Galaxy.
Even though he's in the Sony booth every E3, like getting escorted around. All right, then Brent, that's all your games played. Cesar, what'd you get on, sir?
Games played.
I didn't do too much this week.
Yes.
I started Avengers and I finished Avengers.
Oh God, what does that mean?
That was like 12 hours. I did the story. I don't really do too many games as a service type games. Right. Story is really good though. Camilla Khan, I really like her a lot. She's the one who kind of gels that story together, and she's really well done. They could have cheapened the story and were like, oh, we'll throw Spider-Man in here and throw a youth and have him inspire the old Avengers and kind of unite everybody. But they did it with her, and she had her own flair. She has great optimism. She was a perfect character for this. I mean, she was the best part. I was more disappointed when I played a lot of the other Avengers than I was like, I just want to play as Camilla. That's all I wanted to do. She's a great Miss Marvel. Outside of that, I mean, the story was pretty good. I won't go into details to spoil it. It's actually pretty decent, and it only takes about 10 or 12 hours to complete it.
Okay.
I do like the way that each Avenger handles. Each one plays differently. Thor plays like you would imagine Thor. I enjoy playing Iron Man because it's like I constantly use his repulsor beams, and that's what I would do if I was fucking Iron Man. I don't think I would walk up and punch people. I would just use punch, and repulsor.
Yeah.
And it plays just like that. Same thing with Thor and his electricity powers. Black Widow is surprisingly fun to play as well. I mean, she has her stealth tactics where she can make her veil, make her invisible, and you can kind of move around and kind of position yourself to do different attacks. And she uses more of her gun base.
How do you switch between them? Do you pick them as a loadout before the mission, or do you?
It is. You pick the loadout if you do them as a multiplayer map. You choose your character and you play as them. But as you go through the story, you're given a character and you play as that character for that level.
Okay.
So you may have a level where you play as Cap. You may have a level where you play as Iron Man, and it kind of goes back and forth. And you play one as Camilla.
It's a cool structure.
Yeah, you just follow that gameplay. So they kind of that way they don't have somebody just favoritize one character and play through it on there. They kind of give you the ability to play other characters because each character plays differently, and they all handle well. I think my only complaint of the lacking character on story wise that I found the most uninteresting was probably Tony Stark. It's probably because of Robert Downey Jr. I'm so used to him. He just wasn't that funny in this game. A lot of his jokes were like stop talking. They were like they're not even good.
They weren't the worthy Marvel one-liners we're used to.
I mean, they're not even good. They're like really bad dad jokes. I mean, it was bad. Like, it was.
Isn't he played by Nolan North?
Yeah, and I don't think it was anything he did. His delivery was fine. It's just I think it's just a script. It wasn't strong for Tony, but like for some of the other characters, like Camilla, was really strong with her. I mean, her bits with her dad and everything was great. And they did such a good job with Camilla. It's amazing.
Cool.
Banner Hulk did a good job. I mean. Everybody else I kind of liked. The only one I found disappointing was Tony. It was probably because of his jokes didn't land for me, and he just wasn't funny. It was more like I didn't want to play as him because I didn't want to hear him like make weird Elton John references. Like I think there was a point on there where like Black Widow was going by a Tiny Dancer, and he's like, I would have chose Rocket Man. You're my candle in the wind. Oh God, can we get off the Elton John songs? It's like it's not even funny.
Why?
It's like we went down to
It's like 90s platforms all over again, where Gex just keeps saying the same one-liner over and over.
I think what it is they just didn't have that, for whatever reason, they didn't write the proper wit and humor for Tony, in my opinion. So it's just, unless they were going for him just being the annoying guy in the group, I mean, they nailed it if that was the case. So, I mean, outside of that, everybody else, like Black Widow was great. I do like Bruce Banner's story bit on there. Everybody had a good story arc on there. I just felt Tony's was a little bit weak. I think it's just because we're probably spoiled because of the Marvel movies, because of the whole way that Robert Downey Jr. went from like a playboy to trying to be the world's savior by the end of that whole story arc for all those 22 movies. You see how he grown as a person. They kind of try to do that in this game, and it wasn't there. It's kind of like, oh, I did bad, and I should stop.
Is it? Did they try to pull off too much over 12 hours?
I think it's just the amount of characters they had on there. I think that was the only one that was short-sighted. I mean, if it's hard to balance all those characters, and I think he did a good job. It's probably one of the better Marvel games I played, but I think there's some. It's not perfect. Let's just put it that way. It's not perfect. The game is very glitchy. I think the thing you would hate about it the most, Richard, is your complaint on some of these games where this one you fight a lot of robots, and that's it. It's like different skin robots, and it's like. They didn't really have any villains. I think the Abomination was in there, and then there was a secret villain at the end, and that was it. And the Abomination was only in there for like the very beginning, and they kept referencing him at certain points. Like they have the Abomination, they never showed him again. So I was like, that's weird that they reference him, but you never fight him again. So it's like you didn't have the whole gallery of super villains on there. I think in the beginning you fought Taskmaster, and then Abomination, and after that generic robotic enemies until you get to the secret character at the very end. I'm not going to go into details about that because that's part of the story. But I think it was weak on the villain part. They do, and like I said, this is a games of service, kind of like Destiny and Tom Clancy. Ghost Recon, where they after the credits they give you hints for the end game, so you have to keep going through doing random missions, and at some point they'll release the end game where there's like an additional story bit. But outside of that, the only additional missions you get is like as you unlock each Avenger based off the story, because at some point you got to reunite the team. You get different missions based off that character that gets you high level gear for that character. Like I said, this is like it's those type of games where they expect you to pour money to get better gear.
What's the roadmap for that? Are they wanting you to purchase new skins, or like how's that going to
uh,
play out? Are there going to be seasons to this?
they haven't gone that far yet, because I think what it is I think they did what they needed to do, because this is one of those games where they're going to pull from the Ubisoft page book where all right, this is what we got. Here it is.
Yeah.
People are going to go with this because we're already confirmed that these are coming to next gen consoles. So this is where we're starting, and we're just going to have to grow it. They're just going to do it as a typical games as service. Right now, there is no roadmap. There's not like a season pass they have on sale. I don't think there's anything available like, oh, future content like they've done like Tom Clancy. I think they're kind of playing it by ear.
Yeah.
It looks like they got the game out. They got multiplayer stuff. You get daily missions you can do, but most of those are just generic, like, do this block attack 5 times during a regular mission. Most of it is kind of like to get the 3 of us to jump into a room and play together. That's what most of those missions are, and each
And hang
person
out.
gets that character.
They want us to just hang out and fight the robots, and that's our social.
To be honest with you, I don't know Brand that well, but for the 3 of us, on the lack of variety in those missions, I don't think that price is enough.
Wow.
The $50 asking price, because you probably like after about a week or two, you probably be like, is there anything else we can do? I mean,
Yeah.
if it was a $20 game, you probably it's only $20. I got my $20 worth, but for $50 or $60, I got it mostly for the story campaign, which I enjoyed, and that's what I was going for to begin with. I wasn't going for the multiplayer aspect anyway, so I knew what I was getting myself into. So I'm not disappointed.
Right.
So, but outside of that, I mean, it plays like a standard, like those Tom Clancy games and the games as a service. I mean, you get high level gear. I don't think it ever scratched that itch for me like Diablo, because it wasn't like plentiful that you find the gear. You find a chest here and there, like you find a lot.
Diablo's the best at that. Oh my god.
We'll see, because it's like Diablo constantly gives you gear,
Yep.
gear constant. It's like it's addictive. This one, it doesn't. It's like you have to go out of your way, do this weird set piece to get access to a chest, and you might not even be able to equip that thing because it might be a lower level armor. Or, at this point, it's like, what do I do with this other than throw it in my locker or disable it and use it for resources? It's like, it's one of those games that's designed for somebody like, that scratches that itch. Kind of like you're doing with Halo, with somebody's like, I like this type of, gameplay. I'll come in here, every couple of hours every day, put in my fill and just go down, that's who it's designed for. But, yeah. But outside of that, I mean, the story's not the longest good. I think it's worth it. Worth it to pick up the game at least. I don't know if it'd be worth it for the full price.
Cool.
But I'm sure it'll be cheap at some point, and I'm sure a lot of us will pick it up because it's going to be on the next gen consoles to give us something to play. I mean, it's going to be because of that dry spell. I think this game will sell well because of that, because it's going to eat up that market for it. So,
Marvel's The Avengers. Crystal Dynamics The Avengers.
Outside of that, I did play a little bit of Tony Hawk, not as much as Brant. I think I did a tutorial and I did the warehouse.
Felt good. Felt like Tony Hawk.
Yeah, it's Tony Hawk. I still am partial to my favorite Tony Hawk is still the launch GBA one, but it's neither here or there.
The isometric one.
Isometric 3D.
Hey, you need to watch that John Linneman thing, man. He throws a shout out to it.
Yeah.
He's like, there's no way this game should perform or play as well as it does.
On a launch title too, GBA. It's not like a year later they fucking got that shit working immediately.
Yep.
I did play a little bit of Minecraft Dungeons. The new expansion came out. That is fucking it's fucking Diablo with Minecraft characters.
Are you
That's
playing
probably
that
the second
solo?
Yes, I just started.
I want to try that out. We should try that out.
So I was gonna throw this around. I have it on PS4. I'm sure one of y'all can do it on an Xbox. We just need somebody to do it on Switch.
That
or PC.
would be interesting.
Okay.
So we just need somebody who can do that. If somebody has a PC and somebody has an Xbox and has Game Pass, and y'all can both do it for free. I bought the PS4 one, so like I said, I at least can have that one on there. But if y'all want to throw it down, I literally just did the prologue where you play. Looks like a character from SpongeBob. It looks like Squidward. He has like a long nose and like a squid, and he's like the villain in the story. And I chose my character who looks like a 90s grunge Nirvana fan. He has a flannel and he's running around with a sword. I was like, you know what? I'll be the grunge 90s fan.
That's fine.
That's what I did.
This checks out.
I played a little bit of that. If y'all want to jump on it, let me know. I'll be down for it. and they're not long. I think you do the levels, and the levels are not long. They're like 5-10 minutes. There's a good bit of amount of loot, and then you go to a campsite. So it's not like we have to sit there and play for like 2 hours to get to a stopping point. So if it's something like I can only play like 30 minutes or an hour, it's built like that.
Cool.
It's not like you're sitting there for like 2 hours dredging through a dungeon or something like
Right.
that. Because I know it does that later on in the later levels of Diablo. It's not like that in the beginning. But Diablo's just addictive to begin with. Fucking Diablo's great.
Gotta love Diablo.
But hours goes away, and you're like, holy shit! It's like 4 in the morning.
Me and Russell did that last like Thanksgiving. It destroyed our whole Thanksgiving weekend. It was a black hole of Diablo.
It sucks you in, man. Fucking loot.
It was fun, man. I want to do that 4 players. 2 was crazy and hectic and awesome. I can't imagine having a full maxed out squad in there.
I love those games, man.
Do you want to start up a Diablo playthrough?
We can. I got it on PS4. I got it on Switch. I got literally every version and every version of Diablo 3 on PlayStation.
I've got 30 hours in each, but I'm always down to start over, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
Hey, man, we might fuck around and beat that game.
I know that's
Deja vu.
Deja
vu.
That's usually how those Metroidvania games. You're just going through. You're like, I don't know if I ever beat this. And like, that was the boss. I beat this game. Holy shit! You know, it's like those are those games you don't even try to beat. You just happen to just beat it. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that was the end. I just was gonna keep going. You know, you hit that gameplay itch. Outside of that, I won't go into too much details. I did play some more Sword Art Online. I'm still chugging through Chapter 2. I'll leave it at that. I did get RPG Maker 15 because it's always been my dream to fucking make it. They came out on PS4 and Switch this week. I think I got like 3 hours in that. I'm slowly designing an RPG. I think I've got my first area map built, which is a house with some bushes out front.
Yes.
And I haven't gone through the character models yet, but I am slowly going to build an RPG with that fucking game and put it online. So
can you send us like preview builds or anything to try out?
Yeah, it used to be when they had RPG Maker FES on the 3DS, you could play the games without having to actually own the game. I think you have to own the game to build them, but you can actually release them and send them to people. Like they had a light version where you could play people's games.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have this one for 15. I'll take a look and see. Because a lot of it was like they put you through the tutorial in the beginning, which is like I hate doing the tutorial because there's always a long part. Like this is the palette. This is how. Like, this is a hero. You wake up in the bed. Like, first thing you do, save the game. And it's like, save the game. And you're like, get out the bed. You're like, your mom's calling you downstairs, like, water the flowers. And you go outside. It's like, there's no flowers. It's like, all right. So it pulls up the menu. So this is how you get to the flowers. And I was like, holy shit, this is gonna be like 4 hours of me just trying to get through the tutorial just to get out of that shit. So
you were
it's
also
like, it's not
describing
bad.
to start the Chrono Trigger in like 20 other JRPGs.
Yeah. Yeah, and outside of that, the last game I'll talk about, and I'm going down this list pretty quickly, is I just fired an enter to see what it looks like, was Kingdoms of Amalur, the Re-Reckoning.
Nice.
I just want to see what it looks like. That still looks like a fucking PS3 game. I think when I looked on the screen, it looks like 1080p.
Ooh.
It doesn't. It looks like a cleaned up version of the PS3.
I was thinking about getting this one. Damn.
Yeah. But it's nice. It runs quick. It runs a lot more fucking smoother than I did. And remember, I played the PS3 one. I imagine the 360 one probably ran better, but it runs a lot more cleaner on this one. And I probably got like 3 hours into that thing. It pulled me in there a little bit where it's like, oh, they put me down the well, and like I got reincarnated with my soul. Like I just wake up with all the dead bodies. It's that first level again. And it's like then you run into the dwarves, and they're like, oh, the spell actually worked. You got to go talk to this guy. And he's going to experiment on your ass, or ask you questions. I can't remember which one.
There's
one of the
3
two.
remakes I want right now. I want to pick up the Destroy All Humans, I want to pick up Tony Hawk, and I want to pick up Kingdoms of Amalur. The Re-Reckoning.
The Re-Reckoning.
The Remaster.
Right. Which they didn't put in the fucking title, Re-Reckoning.
Really?
They just left it Reckoning.
I thought they went all in with it.
I was gonna laugh if somebody took a spray can and just like Re-Reckoning.
Oh,
they didn't do
man.
that. It just Kingdoms of Reckoning. I was waiting for it. I was looking for it when they were showing the title sequence. I was like, damn it. Dropped opportunity. And that is my
Sweet.
games played this week.
Good variety, except for my Halo. I got to throw something in there next week. I got to talk about something different. It's my jam. All right, you guys want to add anything else in there before we get out of here?
I'm good.
Watch
just watch more anime. Yeah. I'm like 100 episodes of Black Clover. I fired up the PS4 game the other day, and the PS4 game is actually surprisingly good. It's not like the typical Naruto, Dragon Ball Z,
Bandai Namco tie-in.
They just copy, throw another anime skin on there. This one actually feels like something I would play on the Dreamcast,
Go on.
where you have you aim with the camera angles, and then you use the triggers to attack with your swords. It's something I haven't played anything like this probably since the Dreamcast, where they tried to do something differently. So it's like there's no face buttons to do your sword attack, so I'm using the triggers. So I'm slashing with the triggers, and I'm doing different buttons on there. It's actually one of the more fresher anime games they put on there. So I got like maybe a couple hours in that, but I won't go into more details. But yeah, we'll watch more fucking anime. Like I said, I'm stuck in Black Clover right now. I'm addicted to that fucking show. Eh.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, I'm not going down the road with songs with you all today.
All right.
I've heard songs from you all day. Everyone. There's so many titles I could have pulled out, but I was like,
Brant, you got anything to throw out there?
No, sir.
Catch us on Twitch. Catch us on YouTube. Leave us 5-star reviews. Like, subscribe, follow. RSS feed. Wherever you want to hear the podcast, we'll be there. What was that? Retweet. Always retweet. Brant, you need to follow us on Twitter. Start up your Twitter account and start retweeting us and build up the army. The Twitter army.
Yeah, just don't know.
All right.
Yeah, just don't unfollow block.
Brant, I'm going to let you lead the charge on Discord. We should probably do something on Discord, too.
All right.
If that's something you're down for. If that's something our fans are down for. Let us know, fans. Both of you watching. Somehow we still have 2 on here. All right. Thank you guys for joining us this week, and we'll catch you next week. Bye.